Moolah, what's happening? Jason Shepard here. Better late than never, I guess. So they say. Rami, I saw your comment. I'll get you back. I'll get you back for your comment. Good to see you. Welcome to my office. In troubleshooting everything, I was thinking it was the internet, so I reset the internet. I was thinking it was the soft. I just reset my whole computer, all the internet, everything, and moved locations. Welcome to my office. I don't know what the issue was. I couldn't get my phone to work. Maybe it was Wi-Fi, but you know what makes everything better? Come here. This makes everything better. A little Sophia. Who doesn't need a little Sophia hug? Sophia, you want to say hi to everybody? Say, hey guys. Oh, you want to touch the microphone? Says, hey guys, it's a really great day. My dad just wants to formally apologize for being late, and it's time to get into the stream. So, what color do you think our hair is going to be? We're taking. It looks red on these lights, doesn't it? We have no redheads in our family. How could that happen? How could that happen? So good to see so many of you. Sorry for being late. Hey, Gigi, great to see you. Rami, great to see you out there. Apologies for being late. I don't know what it was, but you know what? Sometimes persistence pays off in everything. You just got to keep going. And speaking of persistence, today's topic, I'm looking at my beautiful wife. Do you want to come say hi to everybody? She says, absolutely not. Speaking of persistence, we're talking about compounding. And Rami, one of your favorite people, the late partner of the great Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. I'm actually reading Poor Charlie's Almanac right now, his tribute to Poor Richard's Almanac, originally written by Ben Franklin. I'm reading it now. Classic. It's been out for a long time. My first time actually reading it since Charlie Munger passed away. And I'm reading it, and one of his key phrases is never unnecessarily interrupt compounding. That's what we're going to dive in here today. Thanks for everybody for sticking through this. It is day 13 of the 14-day Moolah Challenge. Tomorrow will be our last live stream. I'm kind of sad about it. We'll keep doing some regular live streams and everything else so to keep sharing with you all and continuing to deliver value. So really looking forward to all of that. Yesterday, I want to recap yesterday. So my wife and I are very blessed to have amazing business mentors that live just a few houses down from us. And we are getting dinner with them this evening. And my wife Magda was sharing, said, hey, Jason did this live stream yesterday for Moolah. And it was fascinating talking about Social Security and everything else. And Mark is the gentleman's name. He said, yes. And did you know this? And he and I were looking it up earlier. So we know that the U.S. has a whopping 31 trillion with a T. The United States of America has $31 trillion of debt. $31 trillion of debt. You ready for this, Rami? This is the kicker part. I'm going to ask a question. Who do you think owns that debt? I mean, obviously various people do, but if I gave you, I said, Rami, list to me the top 10 people that own the U.S. debt, that 31 trillion in debt. I mean, who lent it to the United States that it's owed to? Some of you are saying China. China's up there. Japan's up there. There's a lot of big countries up there. But the United States is also on that list. And this is how it's structured. And I learned this tonight. That the Social Security Administration, you know that place that's going to run out of money by 2035? Did you know that 9% of the 31 trillion, so what's 9% of 31, right? That's 2, 3, 4 trillion, call it $3 trillion. $3 trillion of that, the Social Security Administration in their trust that we've been paying into was loaned to various agencies within the U.S. government. How the balance sheet works at the Social Security Administration is the United States is basically paying itself back from borrowing from the Social Security Administration. The Social Security Administration lent out money that it had to the government. And I'm thinking, this is, here we are. We just did a whole live stream yesterday on the Social Security program is going to run out of money in 10 years. And you learn that they lent $2-3 trillion, trillion with a T. Then they're getting paid back on it, and they're getting interest on it. But boy, I don't know if that was the smartest decision. Someone retiring in 2036 probably doesn't think it was a smart decision, do they? That's the crazy part. Audrey, I see your comment. Can you show the black and white wedding picture? That's our wedding picture. Look at that. Pretty wife I have. She's great. I wanted her to come over here, but she didn't want to come over here. She's got to, it's one of those hair and makeup kind of days. She's got to do all that. Anyway, she'll be probably mad at me for saying that, but it's okay. Hey, let's dive into our content here tonight. Never interrupt the power of compounding. I'm going to go fast. I apologize. I started a little bit late due to technical difficulties. Never interrupt the power of compounding. We, several nights ago, we talked about the power of investing just $5 a day. I want to take this step a little bit further to help you really see it and really understand the power of compounding. And Rami, you're spot on with that one. Maybe they didn't wonder how their credit score was, right? Cracks me up. All right, let's screen share real quick here. Let's see how well this looks for you all. If you're watching this vertical, maybe I'll move that over and zoom in a little bit. Let me go find that tab. This is from investor.gov, published by the Security and Exchange Commission. Our friends over there. They approved Moolah, so they're definitely my friends. I'm happy with them. Let's look at, though, they made this nice little calculator here. Let's say the initial investment. Let's say we are very, very blessed. We're able to start out with something like $1,000, right? $1,000. You want to go and we get a little raise. We're able to cut some expenses. We're doing all these things. We're able to contribute $500 a month. This is just a generic example. These aren't numbers to hold yourself to. This is just what I want to show you here. The length of time in years, okay? Let's say we let this compound over 30 years. And as we learned from our S&P 500 lesson that we had a few days ago, the S&P 500 over the past 30 years has averaged 10.7%. Not too shabby here. All right, that compounds annually. Let's go ahead and let's calculate that. Wait a second, timeout. $1.1 million. Can everybody see that, this number right here? Do I need to zoom in? Is this, let me look at the comments. Is everybody able to see this? We started with $1,000. I put away $500 a month, $6,000 a year for 30 years at 10.7%. I all of a sudden have $1.1 million. I can work with $1.1 million. Like I can work with this. This is a good day, right? This is a good day. Now, let's take that a step back. Let's do some math here. Let's say we had to interrupt that compounding, right? And we had to stop for 10 years. Kids went to college, whatever it is. We just stopped that contribution for 10 years. Let's leave the interest rate the same. We still start with $1,000. We still are doing $500 a month, right? All that is still happening here. But we cut 10 years out of the equation. You ready? We had 1.1. Wait a second. We're now down. We just took 10 years out of the equation. We missed 10 years of compounding. You went from this is the SEC's website. This isn't some far-fetched calculator Jason made up here. I need you to understand this. $379,000 versus $1.1 million. Do you understand why Charlie Munger, who was the Robin to Warren Buffett's Batman, his right hand, to get the analogy, said never interrupt compounding unnecessarily because things like this happen. Can I show you? Let's go back. Let's go back to 30 years. Let's go back to 30 years. Let's get back to our $1.148 million. What are the important levers? When I think about business, when I think about finances, I say, what are the levers? When my wife and I were building Moolah, we were saying, okay, what are the revenue levers that can allow us to be a healthy, profitable company as soon as possible, right? What are the things that if we pull these levers, give us the greatest impact? Well, so many people say, well, I need to start with a lot. Well, this is just $1,000. In fact, let me show it to you this way. What if I started with $0 and just did the 500? Does the $1,000 make that much of a difference? 1.127 from 1.148. Don't tell me you need a big windfall to start. Don't tell me you need your tax refund until you can start. Don't tell me you need nothing to start. In fact, let's say you had something. Let's say you got $5,000. Now, this will impact our number, and it helps. It's going to help quite a bit. Right? 1.233. So $5,000 gave you almost $90,000 more by the end of it. I mean, don't get me, I'm not saying that a big a $10,000 tax refund check, a $10,000 bonus from work, whatever, won't help, but it's not the greatest lever. The greatest lever, let's go back to our $1,000. There's two great levers here. Really three levers: your monthly contribution, your time, and the interest rate. If I had to rank these three, do you ever understand when I say a lever? If I had to rank these three levers in their order of importance, right? If I had to rank these in order of importance, and I'm sorry some of y'all can't see all this on Instagram and such. My wife just brought it to my attention. I apologize. If you can't see me, we'll go back. We'll hang out here. There are three great levers when it comes to compounding: your monthly contribution, time in compounding, and your interest rate. If I just told you in business and everything, I think of what lever can I pull to get the greatest impact? Which is it? The first actually is time. The most important lever in compounding is time. This is why Charlie Munger says never interrupt compounding unnecessarily. The second is your interest rate. Just like paying a ton of interest on your credit card stinks, having 1 or 2 points could be the difference of thousands of dollars. You see this in examples of mortgages all the time. On a $300,000 house, 1 percentage point over 30 years is about $100,000 in interest, from like 4 to 5%. Crazy numbers. Having your great return is the next. And third is actually your monthly contribution. They're all important, and they all work together. But that's what I want you to really understand. I'm sorry for my vertical video on TikTok and Instagram, that chart didn't show as pretty as I had intended. I'll work on a better solution to show that. You can always catch this recording on YouTube if you wanted to see what I was showing there. But I encourage you, go to investor.gov or just search compounding calculator and use the one from investing.gov, and you'll be able to see everything. The greatest thing, Gigi, is time, right? Getting time in there. Next is getting our return. And we've mentioned, and Gigi, I don't know if you've been able to watch all the previous videos, but getting in an S&P 500 index fund, a low fee index fund, not managed, right? Low fee, everything else. And I showed how to do that through Moolah, which fingers crossed is approved by Apple on Monday. Like I was saying, I've got SEC approvals. I got every other approval. I just want Apple and Google, for that matter, to give their final blessing. They're not working over the weekends. I already asked them. So hopefully on Monday we'll get that approval, because I know Rami is itching to get it downloaded. So we'll get you in there. But anyways, you see all of this and you see, wow, I can do something with just $5 a day, $10 a day, $500 a month. Like, it sounds like a lot, but could we find $500 a month? Could we drive for Uber If I told you, investing $500 a month for 30 years, put in an S&P 500 ETF amounts to $1.1 million, you're like, heck yeah, I'll drive for Uber. That's not beneath me. I'll drive DoorDash. I'll bartend. Nothing is beneath you when it comes to your compelling financial future. And that's how I really want you to start to think about all of this. That's how I need you to start thinking. Nothing is beneath you. I don't care if you're a waiter or a waitress. I don't care if you got a weekend job. I don't care. You are the steward of your family. It is your job to leave a legacy. And I don't mean a financial legacy, right? You got to take care of yourself. I know you want to take care of your kids too, and you will. But the legacy you leave by showing, wow, look what Uncle Rami did. Like, that dude was smart. Wow, look what my mom did. Wow, look what Aunt Gigi did. Like, whoa, they were so smart. All that time, driving Uber, making the side hustle, figuring stuff out, going to the farmer's market, bulk buying at Costco. Like they were hustlers, smart hustlers, and found ways to make it happen. Don't tell me you can't save $5 a day. It is so possible. There is always a way to get to your compelling future. And that's what I want you to really focus on. So anyways, tomorrow is one of my favorite topics. We'll probably go a little bit longer. I'll make sure all the technology is working perfectly. Tomorrow's topic is called Stop Waiting for Luck. Because I did the coolest podcast the other day. I was interviewed by a gentleman, and I need to ask him how he explains what he really does. But he mentors high school kids, high school boys in particular, just to help keep them on the straight and narrow, like to help keep them away from bad influences, starting to figure out things like their finances, how to get their life together, how to pick a career, how to choose a college. And he interviewed me in front of like 100 of these kids on Zoom and just did this great interview. And I just got to see these kids light up as they got to see finances and everything else. And one of the kids kind of mentioned like, hey, but how do rich people just get lucky, right? Like people that are wealthy, they just get lucky. I see it in some of the Instagram comments and stuff too. And I kind of cringe like, oh, they get a head start or they got lucky or they're born into a good family or whatever. Like I say this very, very humbly. And this is not to brag. When my parents and I first moved to Florida, we lived in a motel. My parents still to this day have a pest control business. And I remember mom and dad working together. I was working in the business. Like we were all this family just trying to figure this thing out. Like we'll get more into that story later or tomorrow. It's not all about luck, right? It is about positioning yourself and preparing yourself for when opportunity arises. There's no doubt about that. But you got to stop waiting for luck. You can't be sitting back in your chair waiting for checks to show up in the mailbox. It doesn't work that way. You've got to put yourself out there in the game. You've got to get in the game. That's what's so important. So that's the topic tomorrow. I'm very passionate about. Tomorrow will be more motivational than technical. You won't want to miss it. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. So Gigi, Rami, over on TikTok, you guys, I see you there. Add it to your calendar. I'm telling you, stop waiting on luck. Because again, we grew up very, very poor. And I say it humbly, my wife and I, we live a very blessed life. We live a very blessed life because of many, many things. But being prepared for opportunity was one of them. I'll share our story and that a little bit more tomorrow. Hey, Hunter. Hunter says, I'm at work, but saying hi. Fly safe. Awesome. So yeah, game plan tomorrow is right, Gigi. Game plan tomorrow. Your game plan. I know it's Sunday night. I know it's the Super Bowl. That was bad timing on my part, huh? But I'll pop up during halftime, maybe 8 o'clock. That could be close to halftime. We'll see. 8 o'clock tomorrow in the Super Bowl. This will be the Super Bowl of your finances. We'll work on it. So pop in, put one earphone in so you can watch the Super Bowl and listen. It'll be this whole challenge has been life-changing, but this will be even more so. Even more so. So listen, thank you. Thank you for putting up with a few technical difficulties at the beginning there. Tomorrow's a big day, not just for the Super Bowl. We're going to wrap this thing up, and we are going to propel you towards your compelling future because it's waiting for you. So listen, Rami, Gigi, Hunter, Yugas, I see many usernames out there I can't pronounce. Tonight is your night, right? I want you to fall asleep thinking about your compelling future. You are called to be blessed. Like, if you believe that, you have no choice but to win. And I'm not trying to be like all like rah stuff, but believing in you starts with you. And if you can do that, well, you can genuinely do anything. And I believe in you, and my wife believes in you. If you were on earlier, you got to see Sophia. She believes in you too. So listen, have a blessed, abundant, outstanding rest of your night. I'll see you all tomorrow during the Super Bowl, but it's okay. See you all tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for our final live stream. Well, some more later in the year as well. I'll see y'all. Bye.